What do most languages do that American English does not do? People from the Middle East, people from India, people from Russia, people from China. What do they all have in common? Hey there, I'm Gabriel from GB Voice Academy, your accent reduction instructor to get you that much closer to mastering the American accent. What's the one link among all these accents? They're really hitting those consonants hard, using muscles and throat sounds that Americans just don't do. I've often referred to this in other videos as the surfer dude sound, where it's more relaxed and chill. But now we're going to take this further to be able to lay back and sound much more authentically American with less effort. So in this case, less is more. But what's awesome about this particular lesson is that we're going to go through 5 very popular American idioms. And with these idioms, I'm going to teach you how to pronounce them with my drunk technique. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're not going to be drinking, but it's what I use to describe this technique that I teach my A-list actors that I'm going to teach you here for free. All you need to do is just support my channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have a 5-star best-selling accent reduction course. I left the link below, as well as my other 5-star communication courses. You could also join my Gabriel Superstars membership program, where I'm currently creating a customized accent reduction course for my Gabriel Superstar members, which I will eventually branch off into Indian accent reduction, Chinese accent reduction, Spanish, Italian, whatever ethnicity my members are, I will make the lessons to support my Gabriel Superstar members. So let's go through these 5 common American idioms. I'm going to show you the drunken technique I was telling you about, but then we're going to put it into a poem at the end so we could also work on rhythm and flow, incorporating the drunken technique I was telling you about. So we're covering a lot in this video. So you got to stick with me to the end of this video to get the full benefit of what I'm talking about. So now, it's going to sound weird and funny, but trust me, this works. These are idioms that are used now. They have a lot of old ones out there that people look up online, like break a leg, stuff like that. Those are good, popular, but they're sort of dated. So what I have here are the 5 most updated common American idioms that we're going to be working on. So let's look at the first one here. That's a big ask. Something difficult or unreasonable to expect. If somebody asks, hey, I need those files ready by tonight. That's a big ask. I'm already backlogged till Friday. Now, this is how we're going to approach the drunken technique. Most accents would hit that with the consonants. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. Again, I'm just doing this so you could hear those hard consonants I was telling you about. Versus if it's the American approach, we tend to relax that more. Now, what I want you to do is play with me here. This sounds weird and feels weird, but trust me. I want you to pretend you're drunk. What happens when we're drunk? We're less articulate. Our lips are more relaxed, our jaws are more relaxed, and we're not as articulate. Yes, in a way, I'm teaching you to be inarticulate, to get closer to that American sound. Let's approach this like a drunk person. That's a big ask. Again, that's a big ask. What do you hear? You hear the vowels dominating. That's a big ask. Consonants are the first thing to go when we're drunk. Oh my God, what are you talking about? I was talking to you. But the vowels are still in place. That's why this is a great exercise, because Americans lead with vowels, not consonants. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. Feels weird, right? Now, I want you to just frame those vowels with the consonants. What I mean by frame is when you look at a portrait, what is the main focus? The picture. Is a frame even something you look at or consider? No, it's an afterthought. We lead with the picture. The vowels. That's a big ask. Little by little, frame in those consonants. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. Still, the consonants are back there. You're not hearing that's a big ask. That's a big ask. Even that K at the end, ask. Barely audible. Excellent, let's go to the next one. I'll play it by ear. I'll decide as things unfold. If somebody says, hey, you guys want to grab dinner after the show? I'll play it by ear. See how I feel. See if I'm hungry. All right, great. Let's implement the drunken technique. Pretend you're like drunk, barely audible. I'll play it by ear. What's happening to my mouth? Those consonants. I'll play it by ear. Barely audible. But you hear the vowels. I'll play it by ear. Now let's slowly frame that up with consonants. I'll play it by ear. I'll play it by ear. See that? Versus I'll play it by ear. Or I'll play it by ear. Or I play it by ear. Again, consonant, consonants. Vowel, vowel. I'll play by ear. Believe it or not, that's how they sound. Hey, you guys want to grab dinner? I'll play by ear. Okay, you're doing great. 3 more. And stick around for the poem at the end so we could see if you're able to retain this information. Read the room. Pay attention to the mood before acting. You have a big conference coming up. You're going to go in there and you will determine the pace and everything else based on the room, based on the people out there. I'm going to read the room before I decide on what to say. Okay, let's hit that with a drunkenness. Read the room. I'm going to read the room. Read the room. Read the room. Hear those vowels take over? Now frame it. Read the room. Versus read the room. Read the room. Consonants dominating. Opposite. We don't want that. Read the room. Pretty fun, right? Move the needle. Make a meaningful difference. I feel that this presentation is going to move the needle to get these investors to invest in our product and we can move forward. Move the needle. Here we go. Drunk and drunk. Move the needle. I'm going to move the needle. That L at the end, barely audible. Now let's frame that with consonants. Move the needle. Is it move the needle? No. Very relaxed. Excellent. Last one. Then we're going to get into that poem, so pay attention. Don't throw me under the bus. Big one. Don't blame me or sacrifice me to save yourself. Our boss had a chat with us, and the coworker threw me under the bus, telling me that I was the one who did it. Let's do it very relaxed and drunk. Throw me under the bus. Throw me under the bus. Slowly frame that with consonants. Throw me under the bus. Even then, it sounds drunk. Throw me under the bus. Yeah, don't throw me under the bus. It's when we're relaxed like that and the consonants don't get in the way, like, don't throw me under the bus. How could I possibly be fast and fluent if I have all the in between? But when you just relax and don't throw me under the bus, it just relaxes everything and it allows those vowels to take forward and that makes you be able to speak faster and more fluent. Excellent. Now, here comes the moment of truth. We're going to put this into a rhyming poem to make it easier for you. Pay very close attention. First time around, drunken up those idioms that we were doing. And then we're going to do it a second time, a little more in real time, remembering to just use the consonants as a frame versus a dominant sound. Now also keep in mind the rhythm and flow of this. As I do in many of my videos, we talk about starting high and working our way down, using certain keywords to go up, but then eventually going down. So if I were to give you a chart of the American rhythm, it's like this, and then like that, but eventually it's like this. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. So we're doing a lot here, incorporating popular American idioms, working on the rhythm and the flow, and sounding drunk. I said, that's a big ask. As a plan drew near, but you smiled and whispered, we'll play by ear. I tried to warm you gently, please read the room, or this whole bold venture might end in gloom. Vowels dominating. So now let's do that segment of the poem a little more in real time, but still letting the vowels dominate. I said, that's a big ask. As a plan drew near, but you smiled and whispered, we'll play it by ear. I tried to warn you gently, please read the room, or this whole bold venture might end in gloom. It's easy to find that vowel-dominating rhythm with a poem, especially one that rhymes. That's why we're doing it. And by the way, this was recommended to me by a Gabriel Superstars member, because as a Gabriel Superstar member, you basically determine what videos I do. Next part. Still we pushed ahead, hoping to move the needle, keeping our courage sharp and our worries feeble. Just promise one thing, as our hopes rise like dust. Whatever goes wrong, don't throw me under the bus. So let's try it again a little more in real time, still letting the vowels dominate. Still we pushed ahead, hoping to move the needle, keeping our courage sharp and our worries feeble. Just promise one thing, as our hopes rise like dust. Whatever goes wrong, don't throw me under the bus. Again, do you see how I started high and I worked my way down? This is a staple in all of my videos on this channel. In one video, we try to attack several things so you get a lot more mileage out of these videos. We're learning rhythm and flow and pronunciation. Now, when you go and do your Zoom meeting or you have a big important meeting with some colleagues and you're trying to master the American accent, I don't want you to go in and talk like this, but I want you to rehearse it this way. Because what this forces your body to do is put those vowels forward and those hard consonants to relax. It's a different approach. A lot of action reduction instructors don't do it this way. But when I have actors on set in Hollywood and they're asking me, I gotta nail this line, and they're not getting it, I always tell them, pretend you're drunk. How does that feel? Now just add the consonants as a frame and eventually, bam, they're that much closer to mastering the American accent.